Hey, my name is Scotty, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sketch this person walking using my loose sketching technique. But we'll first start at the top of the page. So see those two dots on the reference? That's the height of the head. So I'll put that first, and that'll be our anchor points for the rest of the sketch. But one more point we can add is the width of the head. So that height, and I turn it this way, it's about there. Now we can outline that shape around the hair, starting at this top right hand dot there, and then around to the back, about there. Now the face, and we have to divide the face up between the hairline and the chin into 3 equal sections. So we come down a third, put a dot there, and a third again, and a dot there, maybe a bit higher, and then there, that's the chin. Forehead, which goes down to where the brow is, so a little line there. So we come down from where the brow is to the point of the nose. Here, that's the split between the lips. And then in towards that dot there, and then out again for the chin. Now we come to drawing the shoulders. So that same distance there is here. And then the other shoulder comes across, and it's just below that where that neckline comes. The next main shape is the torso, and that's before we do the legs. So the torso shape can be found by measuring 3 head lengths down to the crotch. So let's measure down 3 of these lengths from the shoulders. So 1, 2, 3. And we come this way, and we can use that same distance. Just come across and put a dot there. Now let's outline this shape. Comes out about there, and then comes back a bit for the clothing and the bag. Shirt, so come out to about there, and then come back in, and then come down to this point. There we go. So we've got the torso shape. Now we can do the legs. The 3 heads for the torso is the same 3 heads for the legs, and put a dot here. That should be where the ankles are, so put a dot there. So coming straight down and giving a wobble for the pants down to there, and the back. Curving a little bit the other way now, and there. The back of the foot here. So outline this foot, curving in to that point, the other way to the toes. And the arm is also 3 heads. Now look at this arm. It's slightly towards us, which makes it shorter, and it's also slightly kinked, so it's slightly bent. It'll probably be closer to being here. And we come along the top of the arm first, and I'm looking at that point there, and it worked well with that gap. And then this very fancy sleeve goes right down to this point, wave around like that. Now this side here, so put a taper, and then around each of the fingers, a faint line there, there, and there. So for the head, first of all, I like to get to the 2 big shapes, which is the hair and the face. So come down like that. Now we'll do the details on the face. So we'll go across, and then see how it goes down. The 2 lines there, very simple. So we're drawing the top of the eyelid first, a line going up, going angling down. It's like a triangle there. Iris as well, you can just add a little bit of darkness in there. Just a little line going, angling down. So a bit of a line goes down like that. And then I want to show that it hair curves around, so I draw that on this side. Now we can break up the rest of the figure. Above the shoulder, goes across, get a little bit more looseness to the lines as well. The flap of the bag, and it comes down. And now some wrinkles on the pants. And lots of lines here to show tension of her moving. So the shoes, we've got these main bands that go across, and the back of the heel. It angles up. The bag's got lots of tension because she's holding it in her hand. Okay, now we're going to add some loose, simple watercolor onto this sketch. And the first color I'm using is burnt sienna for the skin tone. Around the feet here, and there, skin here. Okay, so right down the face, make sure it goes in the nose. And I'm changing the colors just slightly. So I'm using ultramarine now, and we don't have to go right inside the lines. We're just going really roughly. I'm adding more saturation in now, and then down to the bottom. Okay, so with the bag, I'm going to use Payne's Grey, which is a nice color for anything that's black. And then into that spot there, comes down into the bag around here. on the end of the shoe, and then the end of the shoe. So use some yellow ochre through the middle, burnt umber, which is our main colour. Bring it down, and I might now add some Payne's grey into that to make it a darker brown. This bottom bit. Alizarin crimson. This is a fun bit, just impressionistically have some of those shapes that you see. And down here there's some red, and around there of this colour, which is cadmium yellow. Some nice one that goes across there. I think that's enough, just making that up. So turquoise down here, and you can add just a little bit of Viridian green, just in between the lines here, adding in that bright colour there. Some dots, some lines, wherever there's a gap that needs to be done. We can use some of those colours down here. So what do we have? We've got the teal on the back of the heel, teal on the back of the heel. Be a line just on the top, and then some dots on that front bit. At the bottom section there, these red dots, teal in this, these tins in here. So I've watered it down a little bit more. Now to do the top here, now that it's dry, I'm going to use ultramarine and then add Payne's grey. So now I'm painting in between the colours, trying to leave a little bit of white. Some little dots inside these thicker yellow lines. So before we get into some more details, I need to add some shadows. So I use Purple Lake for my shadows. Some people don't like the purple, so you can use any color that you prefer. A nice shadow across there. And if you can continue down the leg, this knee is blocking some of the light, making this a bit lighter, this bit. And then where her body would create a shadow, just behind that front foot, the wrinkles would cause some shadow. So some just here, shadow across her face. So just down like that, and a bit on the back. Just a little bit of permanent rose there, very, very thin wash. And then just across that front cheek there, add a bit. Just going to add that bit of orange shimmer to it. And we're going to add some splatters here. So first a little line, little dot, big dots like that. Put your finger out and tap lightly. There we go, some more saturation. So the last step is adding highlights with my Uniball Signo pen, reflecting in the hair. So this just makes the sketch pop this more glossy bit of the bag there. Wrinkles might catch the light on this bag, a bit more glossy. So that's how I sketch a person walking in side view with a really loose ink and watercolor sketching technique. If you want the full version with all the steps so you can follow along with me more easily, then I recommend you check out my Patreon, because that's where I put the full version, plus a reference and a template which you can use to remind you on how to do the proportions. Otherwise, there's another tutorial right here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.